Hey, welcome back. I'm Dorothy. I'm a professional astrologer. You can find me on the web at nhastrologer.com, and there you can reach me if you have questions or would like to have a private session by phone or Skype. Listen, the live link's right below the video here, okay? So click on that and it'll take you right to my website and check out all those tabs, all kinds of good stuff to look at. I actually even do a weekly forecast by subscription. So actually, it's a daily forecast by subscription. Go check it out. Geminis, for you, for the month of November. Let's go through the list here. Let's take about 15-20 minutes. Be patient. I'm a Gemini. I would love to make these videos faster. I just can't. I'm on number 3 of 12, so, you know, I got a ways to go today. For you, November 3rd is the first aspect that I'm going to be looking at in this month. So the Sun and Venus are conjunct in the sign of Scorpio. That can be a little bit intense for some people. Venus is all about sensual love, sensual pleasures, food, taste, smells, sight, beautiful things that we love to have around us. Now it's in its opposite sign of Scorpio right now, together with the Sun and the Moon at the eclipse on October 23rd. So she's been kind of going neck and neck with the Sun for a while. They're not separating yet, so they've got some sort of infatuation with each other. The passion is deep running when the Sun and Venus are connected in the sign of Scorpio. So there is something that's, I don't know, there's a little fire in there. Wants us to have a little more passion about something. Now we can go a little too far with it. Since Venus is in her opposite sign, it's not always the best and most comfortable place for a planet outside of its own sign, but it's a-okay, because if you can really dig into your deeper passions and what you're passionate about and what you truly love, and if that needs a shift because life has become too much of a routine for you, or boring, if you will, then it's just an opportunity through this whole month and part of October as well to make the shifts and transitions that need to happen. Okay? Now on November 4th and 5th, the Moon in the sign of Aries is going to square all those cardinal planets that we've been talking about as astrologers for the whole year. And when it does, there's either a square aspect or a conjunction to Mars, Pluto, and Uranus. And what goes on with that? Those are three big powerhouses. When those three are together, wow, there is some time for some butt kicking, because we really want to look into the serious things in life. Mars and Pluto both own the sign of Scorpio. They are conjunct in the sign of Capricorn. So there is just some very deep energy happening here, some deep shifts and transitions. If you didn't know it by now, you should know it, that there is a lot of changes going on around us throughout the planet and on a very internal, deep level for ourselves. Meditation is a very good way to go into your own psyche, your own being. Actually, shamanic journeying is even better. Meditation is wonderful for calming us down and centering us, but if you need to really go deep, you find somebody who's a good shaman to help you out, or get into a group that focuses in on things like that. This is something that you truly would like. Well, I would recommend you do. The full moon on November 11th, excuse me, sign of Taurus, 14 degrees of Taurus. The Sun is in the opposite place, 14 degrees of Scorpio. Those both fixed signs. One is earth, one is water. Now, what that will do with all the focus we've had before that is, again, is focusing us on what needs to change. What are we going to let go of? And there's physical things that we should let go of when the moon is full in the sign of Taurus. There is something physical. That Taurus energy, like I just mentioned, is all about those physical things. Now, for you who are Gemini, that Taurus full moon is in your 12th house. Yes, let me take a double check. It's in your 12th house, which is more of the Scorpio energy in a way. So what it does is it's bringing up things that have remained hidden for a long time. So in the full moon, the reflection, which is the full moon, is in that 12th house. It is has a lot to do with reflecting back to others, or others sending and showing us what it is that we need to release and let go of. So basically, any of our partnerships, friendships, any of those one-to-one relationships that we have, things will be shown to us that we need to make adjustments on, or shift out of or let go of. Simple. Not so simple, because if it's a Taurus and Scorpio energy, it's fixed. It means we kind of like it, whether it's dysfunctional or not. Meditate on that too. Let that energy out, okay? That will really be the best thing for all of us to do at that point in time. Now, back to my notes. On November 8th, Mercury is going to move into the sign of Scorpio. That means it's at 0 degrees of Scorpio on November 8th, so over a couple of days, that November 8th, 9th, 10th, we get this eclipse point from October 23rd reignited. It gets triggered again. That just means any of these things that have been feeling really yucky to you, things that you just don't want to face. You know, I mean, I have lots of conversations with lots of people, strangers and friends alike, and everybody's saying, oh my God, this sucks. How can I do this? Why are people doing this to me? How can this happen? What's going on? Why am I this? Why am I that? There is so much transition that we're needing to process because there's so much Scorpio energy, especially with the eclipse, and there are so many things changing. It's hard for us to process it all. Mercury in Scorpio, it was there when it went retrograde weeks and weeks ago. It went retrograde at 2 degrees of Scorpio, and now it's back at 0 degrees, and then it will move to 2 in a couple days. But the point is like the best way to handle this is to truly face anything that you need to face. Say what you need to say. That's Mercury. Get it out. Have that long conversation that you haven't had with somebody that's really upsetting you, but you don't want a relationship to end. Have that long conversation. And if you can't have that conversation with the person, because maybe they're not even with us anymore, maybe you need to say something to somebody who's passed on, write things down. Go into a meditation. Invite that spirit in. Invite that person in, even if they are living or not. Invite them in. Have a conversation with them. These are things you can do when Scorpio energy is as strong as it is. Or it just, at the very least, write it down. And then destroy it if that's what you want to do. You decide. You trust your instincts on this one. But I also want you to know that this is what we can be doing right now. No one has a perfect life. Everybody has something to work on. If it's one thing, it's another. So let's just use the energy. And when you use it and you go with the flow, whether it sounds tough, my words sound tough to you or not, the point is that if we work with the energy that's present and what we need to work with, life moves easily and much more smoothly. And so we can move through these things that a little bit tougher. But if we stay in our own divine light, then it's easier for us to get through these things, even if we're doing it alone. All right. Let's see, where are we next? November 10th and 11th. You know, that's an interesting week too. Mars and Pluto are conjunct in the sign of Capricorn, which means if we have some things that we need to shift and change in our lives that are really based in the foundation, we're going to be able to do this. Mars and Pluto are the rulers and co-ruler of Scorpio. And again, more Scorpio energy is being shown to us. The Capricorn, which both of these planets happen to be in at this point in time, is all about building the firm foundation and feeling very structured and having everything feeling very stable. So we have some things breaking down, but we also have this energy that is very, very stable. There's just a really weird bug on my wall right there. I don't know what it is. Looks like a stink bug. They just show up. I live in an old house. They show up. As you can tell, this is an old attic. I love it up here. Anyways, the end of that week, I digressed. That's Gemini in me. Just for you Geminis, you could follow me, can't you? I know you can. That's the way it is. Yes. Thank God my moon's in Capricorn. I'm a little stable. November 13th and 14th, we have the moon in the sign of Leo. And what that's going to do is that's going to make a square to the Taurus energy I've already mentioned and the Scorpio energy I've already mentioned. So Scorpio and Taurus, right? And then the moon's going to be down here in Leo. So if you could make this imaginary little triangle, it's called the T-square actually. It looks like a T. All right. The moon's going to do that. When the moon's in Leo, the moon can be very dramatic. So you got to watch for that. If you haven't had those conversations like I just mentioned, with Mercury and Scorpio, Mercury triggering all those that eclipse point, If you are just holding back and you would just say, nope, I'm just going to ignore this situation until it goes away, well, I'm telling you that Moon in Leo is going to bring people into your life that's going to bring some drama. The drama causes, we have to act when there's drama around us. It triggers us too. So use this energy in a better way. You know, all three of those points are fixed. So don't stay stuck. Move through this. You can do it. I know you can. And we'll be better for it in the end. Don't let it go as far as being something that's overly dramatic. I want you to keep that in mind. Now, the full moon. No, I already talked about the full moon. That was on November 6th. On November 22nd, 11/22. Yes, it is. New moon in Sagittarius. For you Geminis, that is in your 7th house of relationships. Nice. So that would mean a new relationship. You could spark up an old relationship, pump some new energy into a current relationship, all with Sagittarius energy, which is all about fun, playing, having fun. When children play, that's how they learn. When animals play, that's how we learn. We learn what our boundaries are. That's how we learn. So with those energies in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships, these are opportunities for you to explore new things in the dynamic of your partnerships and relationships, and also bring in new partners and relationships, people who will help expand your awareness, new teachers, new exploration, new sense of freedom. Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign, so it is really important that there is a level of freedom within the security that they would demand. So with that new moon at 0 degrees of Sagittarius, first thing we have to do is that Scorpio energy, because it's just entered Sagittarius, so it's bringing some of that Scorpio energy in still. We're not quite done with that yet. But when the moon is new at 0 degrees of Sagittarius in like 12 minutes, it's very small, very short period of time, it's in Sag, it gives us that opportunity to set goals and bring in new things into our lives, okay? Like I just mentioned. New relationships, new spark into our relationships, new exploration, having fun, learning new things. Take the advantage of this great Sagittarius new moon and do that for yourself. Because I'll be damned, we've had a hard couple of months with all these Scorpio things and all the eclipses and all the relationship issues. Let's have some fun in November with this new moon, okay? I want you to do that. Now, a couple more things in November and we'll be complete for this month. And then November 22nd, I already said that, November 25th, I'm not perfect. November 25th, the moon and Pluto are conjunct in Capricorn. That will stabilize a lot of emotions if anything is still in an uproar for you. And then with Mercury also conjunct Saturn that day in Scorpio, that means we're really, there we are. See, there's that repeat again. Scorpio and Sagittarius. All of that just coming together. And then with that Mercury connecting to Saturn, stabilizing things. Really stabilizing what's going on around us, where the chaos might be, stabilizing it, again, through those logical conversations. That's why when Mercury moves into the sign of Scorpio on the 8th, by the time it conjuncts Saturn on November 25th, we should have had plenty of really good conversations to clear up most of the things that are truly on our minds at this point in our lives, all right? Now, that's the day before Thanksgiving in the United States. Thanksgiving is a Thursday, the last Thursday of November. It is a holiday here in the United States. Family gathers, and we have meals, and usually there's a lot of dialogue that people don't want to have. The moon's in Aquarius, which is a very unique analytical sign. So that means the moon will not be overly dramatic at this point, at this holiday. Thank you very much. But the thing we could watch out for is just having conversations, the same old conversations that, and the same old dirt gets brought up. Let's not do that. Sometimes when Aquarius energy gets a hold of an idea or a thought, they can't let it go until they've processed it to an absolute complete end. And that could take lots of time. So With that moon in Aquarius on Thanksgiving Day, you know what? Don't use that way in a stubborn, analytical way. Use it in a unique way, a find freedom type of way. That Aquarius energy is all about independence and freedom. Even though sometimes when the moon is in that sign, it can grab a hold of something and not want to let it go. So use Thanksgiving and the time of family gathering on Thursday, the 27th. Whoop, is it the 27th? No, something like that. I don't know what day Thanksgiving is. I better fix my notes. Anyways, use Thanksgiving as a day of problem solving if you need to, but just a day to do something really fun and different and unique, something that maybe it's going to be a new family tradition. All right, I'm going to leave you with that. All right, I'll see you next time for December. And in the meantime, come find me at nhastrologer.com. I do all kinds of sessions for people all over the world through Skype and through phone calls. So if you don't know where I'm at in New Hampshire, you come and find me on the web. And the live address right below the video. Thank you for watching, and namaste. Yes, namaste.